So according to Jim Duquette of SNY, the Mets have reportedly reached a 4-year offer territory for Kyle Tucker. We all know that the AAV is hovering around $50 million per year, so 4 for 200, including opt-outs, and Duquette also mentioned multiple opt-outs at that is likely. Not to mention that Steve Cohen is apparently involved in these negotiations, and usually when he's involved, you know the offers will go crazy. We've seen it in the past with Verlander and obviously Max Scherzer and then Juan Soto. So the fact that he's involved in these negotiations tell me that the Mets are very aggressive with this. However, I don't think it rules out Kyle Tucker to the Toronto Blue Jays. I think this is a game of tug-of-war between the Mets and the Blue Jays. Sure, the Dodgers could be lurking, but I actually don't believe that. I think that Kyle Tucker, at the end of the day, prefers to go to the Toronto Blue Jays, but they are not offering enough money per season with the length of the deal. They have clearly offered a long-term deal, something that the Mets and Dodgers have not done, but whereas the Mets are coming up on their years on top of having the higher AAV. So now I think if the Mets actually close the gap somewhat on the years in terms of Toronto's offer, they can close this deal for Tucker, whereas the same in the inverse actually goes for Toronto. If they just up the AAV by a bit, I think that they can get Tucker to them. Ultimately, I think the Mets go for 5 for 250, and Toronto is going to have to make a decision. Do they want to go long term? And this signing would put them over the hump. This would clearly make them the best team in the American League and rival the Dodgers in Major League Baseball, who they were just so close to beating in the World Series. This is Toronto's moment to put themselves over the top. They could pivot to Bo Bichette and bring him back, but at the end of the day, I think something is coming with Kyle Tucker's decision, and it could happen within the next 48 hours. Where do you think he signs? I think he ends up in Toronto, but if the Mets have 5 for 250, I could see that.